Hello, everyone. My name is Candace Krell, and I am the grants manager for the Greater Kanawha Valley Foundation. Our scholarship application is currently open, and we thought it would be a good opportunity to go through our newly designed website, show you some resources, how to access those applications, and then do a brief walkthrough of the application so that as you're working through our application, this will be a resource we can provide to you in case you have any questions or just need a refresher. So if you will just bear with me one moment, I will go ahead and share my screen. Okay, so you should be able to see my screen. This is our new website, and this is just bringing you into the homepage. So you're actually, if you come here and just click on scholarships, it will take you to the scholarship homepage. And you'll find a lot of different information provided there. So just like a brief overview of our scholarship program, it is statewide for West Virginia students. There are 120 different funds that are set up to assist students with scholarships. Each has its own criteria. So you want to make sure that you are going through and looking at the criteria to make sure you qualify. But the good news is that means it's also likely that every student will find one that they are eligible for. There's some for certain high schools, counties, fields of study, financial need, certain universities, in-state and out-of-state, and several for graduate students as well. We do anticipate that we'll be making roughly 450 scholarships this year. That will be totaling nearly 1.5 million. So you want to make sure you get your application in. The size of the awards do vary. Many are around 1,000 to 2,000, and some are higher, around 10,000. There is a new fund. It's the TGKVF Scholar Fund and the PRIT scholarships, and those can award up to 5,000. So we also enlist more than 100 volunteers, scholarship reviewers who will consider those applications and make recommendations to the TGKVF board for approval. So that's just a brief overview there of kind of how our scholarship system works. I'm going to head back over to our website and go over to where it says available scholarships. So you can look for scholarships in a number of different ways. You can use this quick reference guide. So say you want to look by your field of study and you want to do business. Let it load here. So you can click on that and it will show you available scholarships for that particular field of interest. There are, let me see if I can go back here. There are, a whole bunch of different field of studies here. So make sure you check those out. Or if you want to see all of the list of available scholarships, you can come here and click on the full list of scholarships. And here it has a list of listed in alphabetical order, the different scholarships that are available. Each scholarship will have eligibility. So you want to make sure that you definitely check the eligibility to make sure before you select that one in the application that you're eligible for it. And then they'll also have the specific criteria. So some scholarships may require an essay. There's different criteria for each different scholarship. So you can see some have quite a bit of criteria and then others have less. So you want to make sure that you look at the different scholarships, you find the one that you think is a good fit and that you are eligible for that. I'm going to close out of this. So just a couple notes on that. So some scholarships are for graduating seniors, current college students, or people wanting to return to school. And I just wanted to point that out because I think that some people can think that maybe it's just graduating seniors who are eligible, and that's not always the case. So make sure that if you are one in those other categories that you're still checking out and making sure that there are scholarships out there for you. And then some scholarships are for students that are attending four-year institutions, and others are for students attending a two-year program or a trade or vocational or career tech option. So there's lots of different options out there. Another very helpful resource that's listed here, and you can see here there's a lot of different resources listed, is the scholarship FAQ. So as you're going through the process, if you happen to have any questions, this would be a really good place to start. It's just got a list of different questions that we hear quite often. So it might be it might be a question that you have, and then this would be a good way to get those answered quickly. So make sure you check out that section. Let's see, I'm going to take us to, so here on how to apply is some more information. You do have to complete a FAFSA to receive a TGKVF scholarship, and there's some information about that there. And then there's also just some general instructions for how to apply online. But if you have done all of your research and you know which ones you want to apply for and you are ready to start the application process, then you will come up here and click on Apply for Scholarships. And that's going to bring you to this page. There is some information here about the documents that you will need when you get into the application. You'll also notice here that it is split out between a new scholarship and a renewal scholarship. So a new scholarship would be if it was your first time applying. If you had been approved in the past and you just want to renew it, then you would use the renewal scholarship application. Just a couple of notes on that. Let me see if I can find my notes here. There are some scholarships that are renewable, and renewals are typically prioritized as long as the student continues to meet the eligibility criteria. But I do want to stress this. You must resubmit an application each year by that deadline. So even though it's renewable, it does not auto renew. So you want to make sure that you're coming back and applying for that. So I'm going to go ahead and just act as though I am applying for a new scholarship application. So it's going to bring you into this first page, and this is called an eligibility quiz. So you'll have to answer some questions, and like number one, are you a West Virginia resident? And if you said no, then it would say, well, I'm sorry, you don't qualify for this, and it wouldn't let you proceed. So you just want to answer those questions, and it's just checking to make sure that you qualify to get onto the application. Let's see. Okay, so I have made it through the eligibility quiz. And now it is just taking me into the actual application. So once you get in, you'll see here anything with this little red diamond is going to be required. So you'll want to make sure you do that. We've also linked in the list of available scholarships into the application, so you don't have to go anywhere. You can just kind of review those in the application, which is a nice tool. So here's a new note. As of 2022, award letters will be sent electronically. So you want to make sure when you put in your email that you are verifying that that is your correct email. You want to make sure it's your email or an email that you have access to, because if you were to get awarded and you do not check that email very often, then you will miss that award letter. So you want to make sure it's one that you have access to. Don't use like your high school counselor's email. If you have a personal email, put that in. If you don't have one, maybe you can speak with like the librarian or your school counselor, and they can help you set up a personal email. Or you can always reach out to Susan Hoover, who is the scholarship program officer, and she can help you as well. So it's just going to ask some generic information there. Again, phone number, you want to make sure it's one that someone can reach you at if they have any questions when they're reviewing the application. You can navigate the application in a number of different ways. You can come down here to the bottom and click next, and that will take you to the next tab. Or you can just click between tabs by clicking on these headers here at the top. Again, there's that list of scholarships that are linked in there. And then it's just going to ask you your information. You'll want to make sure you have this information available. And then down here, you'll choose your first choice. So you'll go through the list and choose the one that you would like to be considered first, and then also your second choice. And then we also have the TGKVF Scholars Fund that does not count towards the 2 scholarship maximum. So you only get to choose 2 scholarships to be considered for, but then the TGKVF Scholars Fund is an additional opportunity. You do want to make sure that you click here and read the requirements, and those are listed right here. Those are only for residents of Boone, Clay, Fayette, Kanawha, Lincoln, or Putnam counties, and there's some other like GPA requirements listed there and additional requirements as well. I'm not going to go through all of them, but you just want to make sure that before you select, yes, please consider me, that you actually meet the eligibility to be considered. Let's see. So here's where you'll upload a transcript of your grades. Let's see there. And moving on. So it's asking for like community volunteer activities, work experience, and awards or honors. And just for fun, I'm going to come down and click next as a different way to navigate it. So this is going to be your personal essay. Different application or different scholarship opportunities will have different essay requirements. So again, you really want to make sure you're checking the essay requirements. And here it actually says, if the scholarship you're applying for does have distinct essay requirements, please be sure to include all elements somewhere within the body of this essay, possibly by breaking up into separate paragraphs if needed. And if you click on that, it does take you back. And I keep going back to this list, so it's important. You do want to just check that eligibility because it will have that information listed there. Okay, so let's say we've written our essay and we're going to keep moving on. It says, if you're applying for one of the following scholarships, please provide the specific information requested. So if you are applying for any of the scholarships listed here, there's additional information that is needed. So you'll want to go back to that eligibility in the list of scholarships and then make sure that that is included here in your application. And okay, so then the financial and family information. So there's a place for you to upload your IRS tax form, also your FAFSA and student aid. And it does have here that please upload the whole FAFSA or STAR document. And if you have any questions, you can contact Susan, and it actually has her email linked in the application, so you don't have to go anywhere to get that. There's just a little bit more financial information, and there's some links in there to kind of help guide you through if you have any questions. Once you get to this point, you'll upload, I guess I should say, there's an upload button. So you'll go through, choose your file, map it to your FAFSA document, and then you'll want to make sure to hit upload. That is a common snag that we run into, is when you choose your file and then you choose the file name, it will look like it's there, but it won't actually be there until you hit upload. So that is a common error that happens, and it can be a little confusing. So let's say I get to this point and I realize, oh, I don't have a document, so I'm going to need to get that and then come back later and complete this. You can hit save and finish later. Let's see here. And it does have specific password requirements that you have to meet in order to get your password completed. If you're going through it and you run into issues, you can certainly reach out to Susan. You can reach out to me. Again, I'm Candace Krell and I'm the grants manager. I do a lot of technical support. So if you're having trouble getting into the portal, please feel free to reach out to us. So this is going to be your portal, but I do just want to go back to our website quickly. And I'm going to go ahead and close out of that. And the reason I want to do that is I'm going to come back to that scholarships page. And I am going to go to apply for scholarships. And that is where you would go for applications in process. So applications in progress. So what that means is, just like what I just did, I got to a point I couldn't go any further. I needed to save and then go back and finish it later. So I've done that. I've saved it. Now I have the information that I needed to upload and I'm ready to complete my application. You could come here to the scholarships page. click on apply for scholarships, and you're going to go to applications in progress. It's going to take you to that portal. I just logged in, so I didn't have to log in again, but there would be a login page there if you hadn't been logged in. I can come back to my application, and then I can upload anything I need. And when I hit review and submit, I'm going to get a huge list of errors because I have done none of this application. So you can see it is telling me, please correct the problems indicated below. Hopefully yours will not look like mine because I'm seeing a lot of missing information there. But if you did go through and you happen to miss one field, it'll say, please correct the problems indicated below. First name is a required field. So then you would come back to where that field is listed, and then you would put in your first name. I do just want to point out a common snag that we have is say, okay, I've done that. Once I put in my name, that error does not just disappear. It will still show me that this is a required field. It's not until I go down and hit, actually, I need to go to the last page. Review my application. And now you can see that the first name is gone, but I still need middle name, last name. So it's not until you go to review your application that it goes back and checks to see what all has been done. So you may come back to this tab, see that that still is missing, but you've just completed it. It's not going to go away until you hit down at the bottom that review button. So say I completed all of this, I got it all done. There's no more red. Everything looks good. I would hit update, and then there would be a submit button that would allow me to go ahead and submit. So that is our application. I just want to end on a page on our scholarship page and just show you here. If you go to scholarships, our scholarship program officer, Susan Hoover, is listed right here. It has her email address, and then of course it has the phone number if you want to give her a call. So all of that information is available on the website. And of course, if you have any questions or concerns, no question is too small, please feel free to reach out and we'd be happy to help walk you through that process. That is all I have for you. Thank you for sharing your time with me, and have a good rest of your day.